ICE is breaking the law. We have the detention of a US citizen. He had his real ID, his social security card, his mother presented his birth certificate, and they still didn't let him go. Issued a Nazi salute from behind the presidential seal of the United States of America.
I want to hop into a couple clips of AOC lighting up MAGA clowns in Congress in a way that only she can, on immigration, on January 6th, on multiple topics. So leave us a like to let us know you enjoy the content. We really appreciate it. It gives us a huge boost, and let's hop right in.
We are talking about individuals who have cheered on an individual who issued a Nazi salute from behind the presidential seal of the United States of America, who have cheered on the pardoning of individuals who attacked the United States Capitol and flew a Nazi flag and the flag of the Confederacy, traitors to the United States, sworn enemies of the United States of America, through the capital of this nation. And now they want to act offended because someone has the courage to say, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, maybe it's a duck.
This is a hearing where Republicans were pretending Tim Walz comparing ICE to the Gestapo as inhumane and do their normal victim routine, when it's really just an apt comparison. It's how Donald Trump wants the streets of America to look, after all, like Nazi Germany with the Gestapo-like ICE roaming around for the preferred ethnic minority, where we all warned it would cause mass unrest, and now it's causing mass unrest, and Republicans are like, it's the liberals! Very much intellectually lightweight thought processing. But as AOC says, it also holds no weight, especially coming from the people who justified January 6th until they couldn't anymore, and now justify the pardons of 1,500 criminals from that day, including many who beat cops, some cops who later died. So it's like the, 0.02% of LA in protest is a big deal. Why, guys?
ICE is breaking the law. We have the detention of a US citizen who has been detained by immigration officials. We have ICE here that has also blamed and arrested US citizens for being simply suspected of being an immigrant, largely because of their appearance. In January, a Chicago-based US-born citizen, Julio Noriega, was arrested by ICE and held in custody for over 10 hours. In April, a Florida Highway Patrol officer pulled over Juan Carlos Lopez Gomez, a United States-born citizen, and arrested him on suspicion of being in the country illegally. He had his real ID, his social security card, his mother presented his birth certificate, and they still didn't let him go. In May, U.S. citizen Leonardo Garcia Venegas was filming an ICE raid. He was arrested by ICE. In May, a veteran and U.S. citizen who is Puerto Rican, was detained during an ICE raid at his workplace in New York City.
And this speaks volumes to how racist MAGA has to be to want brown people in this country gone so bad that they're willing to justify all of these inhumane, unlawful actions. They're willing to have their taxes raised to foot the bill of this mass deportation, but not for universal health care, of course, but for the deportations. Meanwhile, mass amnesty solves all the same problems for far cheaper. No one's taxes have to get raised. It actually makes us money. It would bring prices down, but it leaves the brown people in the country. So MAGA can't have that. The left does always end up right, though. It's a beautiful thing we have to point out. We told you American citizens would be targeted for their skin color. We told you there would be panic and chaos. We told you the Constitution would be overstepped. We told you rights would be violated. And the sad part is MAGA probably knew it too, but they just didn't care and probably still don't.
Sanctuary states are about U.S. citizens as well having sanctuary against the attacks on our constitutional rights from illegal search and seizure. There is nothing preventing ICE from issuing a warrant and you having complete compliance with their request. Correct, Governor Hochul?
We comply in cases where there's been criminal activity alleged. Yes, we always do. But we're not involved in civil immigration enforcement because our state police that I control have to deal with other crimes that they're solving.
And apologies, I just have 10 seconds left. But when they say illegal versus legal immigration, they are trying to end legal status in the United States as well. Correct, Governor Pritzker, with the end of TPS and making people undocumented by removing legal status, ending legal status, and then having the audacity to call them illegal when they were here documented, correct?
Taking students' visas away from people, taking their legal right to be in the United States away from them when they've been granted maybe years earlier to stay.
I love AOC so much. She is so good at this. And it's not the first time, right? Trump decreased legal immigration by 11.6 million in his first term. So this was always the goal. It was never about criminals. It was never even about just undocumented immigrants writ large. It's about lowering the number of brown people in this country. That's why Trump banned immigration from 12 countries, each of them entirely brown populations, with not a single European country. Just, oopsies, we forgot, right? Despite two of the countries that he banned, the Sudan and Congo and the Democratic Republic of Congo experiencing a U.S. recognized genocide. Meanwhile, Trump expedites the refuge of 60 white South Africans on fantasy claims of genocide. It's so clearly systemic racism being instituted before our eyes and cheered on by the MAGA base that I'm tired of logically trying to come to any other conclusion. Our social liberties, our civil rights are all being rolled back to pre-civil rights era times as our government is shifting to an authoritarian-centered regime where one office holds unchecked, unilateral, and overarching power. If this doesn't scare you, you're in a cult.